Welcome to our first ever podcast. Today we're here with John with BuildNext and we're going to talk about construction. So, can you introduce yourself and tell us about your background in the construction industry?
Yes, John Aponte, born and raised out of New York. Started there with my father back when I was, 10, 11. Started working with him in all aspects of the construction industry. So ever since then, I have a little passion for it. So basically, I built my knowledge, on and off for quite a while.
How old were you when you started your company?
Well, this company I started just less than a year ago. I felt the need that it was time for me to take the next step. So, but I've been doing work on and off. Me and my son actually. We've been doing it for quite a while. I've been in the real estate industry for about 18 years. I advise people on what should do with their homes to remodel to get the best value out of it. And ever since then, I just basically just been chugging away. So.
Did you always have a passion for construction?
Yes, building in general, engineering, design, pretty much everything to that aspect. So, and then once the construction came into it, how things work, how things be put together, and how to, better, make it better. So I'm always trying to change things and make it better. And, everybody thinks I'm crazy sometimes, but once they see the finished product, it's a wow factor. So.
Now, why is construction a good career?
It's a great career because there's pretty much unlimited opportunity out there for you as far as if you're looking to start in the beginning or if you're somewhat of a skilled professional. It's a great career. You could actually get into a trade school, come out of a trade school making really good money for starters. So.
Can anyone start their own company?
Yes, I wouldn't, kind of recommend it. Anyone can start a company in a turn of a dime. You can go on SunBiz and start the company right away. It's just basically how you perform and what your company is going to provide to the consumer. I wouldn't go start a company if you don't have any kind of, experience in this industry, So.
How does one get experience?
Trade schools are a big thing. Go to a trade school. Very, very informative. They'll teach you the right way to do things versus, some guys will actually take you on and train you personally. But certain things, cut corners. If you want to know the right way and get your certifications, go to a trade school. That'll be the best thing to do.
Are trade schools expensive?
Now, some companies will actually pay for you to learn, and they basically, pay as you learn. So you're on getting hands-on experience and you're learning at the same time. So, and some big companies will go ahead and take care of that for you. Smaller companies, some of the trade schools, they do cost. I'm sure you can get some sort of financial aid for it, if anything. But it's just applying yourself. Finding those right opportunities for you.
How long does trade school usually take?
There's some like 3 year schools. There's some 2 year schools. Depending on the trade that you want to get into, it all varies from there. So
Can anyone go to a trade school?
yeah, absolutely. Anybody. You come out of high school, college is not the thing for you, which is most of us, So go get into a trade school. I think that would be the best opportunity, best advice I could possibly give you.
Now, can someone take trade school online or does it have to be in person?
I don't. Some may offer online courses, but that's not the right way to do it. Hands on. They really in a trade they really want your hands, your physical presence being there, so they know that they're training you the right way. So this way, when you go out into the work field, that you're going to be experienced enough to go ahead and handle the job.
Right, so you have that hands-on
Yes,
experience.
exactly, and that's key. Even if you want to get your contractor license, that you need that hands-on experience to obtain that license. So.
Now, if someone has past experience but didn't go to trade school, are they still able to be hired?
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. The proof is in your work. So if you're a skilled trade, you already have it, and you have experience, and you have references that actually could back up that experience, then it makes you more valuable to the employer.
That's very good to know.
Yes.
Now, let's talk about construction project management. What are the best practices to ensure the success of a project?
The best practice: communication with your customer all the time. Be upfront, be honest. 100% of the time. If that communication's not there, your schedule's not there, you're basically you're losing your traction with your consumer. So here at BuildNext, we want to create that. We have that in place. We have, our team in place to go ahead and make sure the consumer knows when we're starting, when the delivery is going to be, and when's the completion date. You do run into little hiccups depending on what you find on the job site every time, but overcome those. Communicate with your customer, and from there on out, you should be pretty much fine. But that's a big plus.
What are the disadvantages of bad communication?
Wow, man, it could stem. You could lose the job. You can get sued. Your credibility. I mean, your business. I mean, that business motto. If you practice that, it's just it's not. You won't be in business that long. So it's very important that you have that in place. And the negatives. Again, I mean, you could basically be unemployed.
Yeah, that's
So
pretty scary.
yeah, that is pretty scary. Yeah.
So do you think that communication is the most important?
It is, absolutely. Communication on the whole job, what it's going to cost, what it entails, everything. So a lot of people don't like the hidden things. Oh, well, you told me one thing and this and that. And that. Well, you have to roll exactly with what the job offers, what the job is for the consumer, and make sure you're definitely speaking with them on a daily basis, if not a weekly basis, keeping them updated on their progress. So,
Yeah, communication is key, guys.
yes.
Now, what are the current trends in the world of construction?
Well, trends, they're all over. Everybody wants the modern, the sleek look, and then some want the smaller, efficiency type look, the more economic, the more green. Right now, everyone's targeting energy efficiency homes, so this way they're not looking at the bigger electric bills, trying to keep the cost down everywhere they can, but still have that nice modern look or whatever look they're going for. But the industrial look is a little fading, but we got trends that are coming around to where now people want barn dominiums, so again, cost effective.
Are trends constantly changing?
All the time. All the time, and it all based on your consumer, what they're exactly looking for. We hear it all, so it's nothing that we can't do. So it's just all over the place, to be honest with you.
BuildNext does it all. What are the biggest changes you've seen in the construction industry during your career?
During my career, the biggest changes. A lot of the big changes are a lot of counties. Everyone's getting more away from those smaller little handyman people who come in and remodel your home because they don't last that long. The longevity of it. So we see a lot more people transition looking for that contractor who's licensed, insured, bonded, pretty much. They're looking for that security that you're not going to run off there with their money and you're going to do the quality job that they expect. So we see everybody transitioning into, more of that, So that's the biggest change that I've seen. So.
What are the most common challenges facing construction professionals today?
Employees, lack of experience, lack of people wanting to come in and show up to the job on time. That effort that they want to put into it, and again, it all depends on your company, who you work for. We here at BuildNext Construction believe in, hiring that right person, making sure they're accountable. They show up on time. You don't show up on time, you're really not cut out for, this kind of industry because time is key. We have to meet deadlines and, us as, employers, I mean, we have to make sure we meet those deadlines, whether that employee shows up or not. So, but the biggest thing is, again, there's not enough trade professionals out here to actually do the quality of work that we need.
How can you motivate more people to come work for you?
You basically got to be self-motivated here. We can't really motivate an individual. We can provide a great work environment for the individual to maybe they would, adapt to what we have here. We're not a negative group here. We're not going to sit here and reprimand you. If you make a mistake, okay, no problem. How are we going to fix that problem and move forward? So we work with our employees. We provide a great, pay plan for our employees to make sure they're comfortable and to make sure their job is actually what needs, they can fulfill their obligations as well. So.
Do they get any other benefits?
They do. Yeah, they get the training benefits. They get the health plan after a certain amount of time. They get paid days off, sick days, stuff like that. But they get guaranteed work. They're working for a company that's going to be around for a very long time. They're not going to have to go look for a job next week because that guy didn't, pay his bills or something like that. So, we're here. We're trying to set the very good footprint in the area. And that's what our practice is. So.
You heard that. Paid days off. Now, why is planning important before beginning construction of a structure?
Planning is very, very important because if you start a property and you don't have the materials to even start the next phase of the project, that's going to slow you down. So planning is very important. You need to make sure everything is on point, the consumer is ready to go, and that makes a smooth transition to getting a nice, complete project fast. So without planning, you can be all over the place. So if you don't plan, I know some people I hear horror stories all the time that they go in, they did all the drywall, and then they have to move the electrical. So once you close in the wall, you got to break the wall back open to get to the electrical behind the wall. So when they do that, they didn't plan the proper way. So now we have to go back and do double the work that somebody mistaken.
Right, and it takes twice as long.
Yeah, and it's twice as expensive, because you're redoing I can name a few jobs that we redo now, and it's just like that other guy didn't have that knowledge that they were supposed to have going into these things. So once you go into like a framing or electrical plumbing, those things have to be really done, addressed, inspected prior to you moving forward with any phase of the project. So it's very important to plan and have everything pretty much A, B, and C in order, and then go down the checklist. And if you follow it, everything should run smooth. You don't follow it, it just gets crazy from there on out.
Right, and things don't work out.
Things don't work out. You get an upset customer, you get a bad review, forget it, you're downhill from there. Yep.
Right. Now, I'm sure that stress also comes along as in the industry.
Yes.
So how do you personally deal with the stress?
Well, everyone says I can deal with stress pretty well. I multitask, so do not take one project and stressful and bring it to another project because it's going to create you more stress and more aggravation for that consumer as well. So we you just basically, stress comes, you just deal with it, hit it straight on, and handle it. Don't avoid it. Once you avoid it, then it's going to be more stressful. So, but we really don't really have too high stressful situations, But we handle it, nip it in the bud, and move it forward.
Right,
So.
and I'm sure that you have less stress due to planning and communication.
Yes. And a good team, is key. So a good team in your back, and you should be running pretty smoothly.
Right. Now, what if your team gets stressed? How do you deal with that?
Oh, take them out to lunch, buy them a few drinks.
They're good to
go. No, we handle it. We sit down, we brainstorm, we sit in and make sure everybody's on the same page. It relieves the stress level quite a bit once you go ahead and you have those meetings. Okay, what's the problem? Address it, again, cure it, and move forward. Our experience here in the office is very, very great, very vast. So we'll have experience in everything. So we could pretty much overcome every obstacle, every stressful situation that we do have.
Right. You can't just ignore your problems. You got to face them.
Got to face them. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You can't ignore them. A lot of people ignore them. The phone don't ring. The most things that we hear from our clients, like, I can't get a hold of him. They were supposed to show up, or this. Here, you ring the phone, one of our team members would answer. If not, one of our sales team or our project manager would reach out to you pretty much instantly. So there'll be no time that you would pick up the phone and not get a response. So on the weekends, yes, obviously you won't get a phone call back probably until Monday unless one of the project managers are working that weekend. So, but other than that.
Now, when you finish a project, how do you feel?
I feel great. When I finish a project, just to know that everything's done exactly the way it should be and the consumer is happy, and it just gives you that pride of craftsmanship, that pride of you completed another great project.
Right, and no one can take that away from you.
Nothing. Nobody can take that feeling. It's just a great feeling,
Do you think your team feels the same?
Yes, they do. Once it's done, getting there, sometimes it's a little hiccup, somebody doesn't see that vision, but once you see it and it starts coming together, they have that pride. They're like, yeah, we did this. We banged it out. We're on time. We're good. So, and I think that creates a great work environment as well.
Yeah, I agree.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much,
welcome.
John. And that wraps up our podcast.
Thank you.